Welcome back everyone to another Mt Tabor circuit race. This one happened quite a while ago. Sorry for the long delay between the last video and this one, but things happen. Sometimes it's hard to find the motivation to create the videos because they take a bit of time, but I'm back on it and hopefully I can keep consistent for the next few months because I have a lot of footage from over the summer from Mt Tabor's all sorts of races. But I put this one together a month and a half ago, so I don't really remember what happens. So it should be just as exciting for all you and as it is for me. So we're starting off, that was up the first hill. Now we're heading into the downhill, which is sort of sweeping, not too tight. And the weekend before, I was just up at the Baker City stage race. So that's 3 days, 4 different races. We got 2 road races, 1 criterium, and 1 time trial. And then on the Monday before this Wednesday race, I raced at PIR. I took Tuesday off, and then I'm back out here on Wednesday, which meant that I definitely had a good bit of fatigue in the legs after a pretty much 4 days in a row of racing. Took 1 day off. This was the 5th day of racing in 6 days, which was super fun because I felt sort of like I'd made myself a mini week-long stage race out of these various races. But the snap wasn't necessarily there, but the endurance I felt was really strong. We're now about 2.5 miles in. Things have been pretty fast, as always, going up the hill every lap. We're going around 10 times on this circuit at Mt Tabor. And heading down, I am working on leaving small gaps open and closing them around the bottom turn, because I was realizing that if I go through the bottom turn at a faster speed than everyone else, I can close down the gap and I don't have to pedal back up to speed, because I noticed that people were taking it a little slower than I was taking it and I had to brake into the turn. So this example, this time around, was a perfect example. I leave this little gap, I brake less, and as you can see, I'm doing no power, but I'm catching up to this group, which means that when they all start pedaling, I gotta pedal too, but I'm already going faster than they were going, and it helped save me some energy. Just a little bit of energy each lap really adds up at the end. And I think this might be another example where I left too large of a gap because I was playing around with leaving larger and larger gaps to see how much I could close down. Actually, this one worked out well. So as you can see, I didn't brake and made up 15, 20 feet instantly. And now I'm back in the group. I've got a bunch of teammates in this race. We got 1, 2, 3 teammates all in a row. So we got Ken, Radek, and Eric, and me, all in the Cat 3 field. So we're pretty stacked where our team is gonna probably do pretty well. Radek normally does pretty well. There was the example of me leaving far too big of a gap. I think I was hoping on the downhill I could get a little closer. I ended up just spiking up the power quickly and catching back up easily, but that was not maybe the best decision. And here we are almost near the end. I'm following EJ right here. Probably have seen him on like NorCal Cycling. But he came out after Baker City, raced the Mt Tabor, and this is the last lap, I am pretty sure. And he is chasing down attacks, and I'm sitting at his wheel. So I'm pretty happy with my position because I don't want to be chasing them down, but it definitely helps to be near the front because making up positions on the hill can be difficult because you have to do way more power than anyone else to get that extra speed. But I am still pretty close to the front, and it's not ideal. So I just slow down here. I don't pedal at all and employ my super tuck technique and the going fast through the corner technique to catch back up. As you can see, I didn't have to pedal much until that point when I did have to spike up to about 700 watts, but it looked like they were both sprinting out of the turn too. And so now I'm a little closer to the front than I'd like to be. I'm behind EJ. He has a pretty good draft, and I know he's probably going to keep pedaling as long as he can. So it's not a terrible place to be, but I am assuming that people are going to come by with more speed. And right on the left-hand side, you can see there's a train of my teammates from Team O. So I slot in slightly pushing Eric out of the way by accident. I didn't realize he was also on the train, but I decided to sort of slowly move right and cut off that sprinting window from EJ, because I know he has a pretty big sprint. I saw that at Baker City. So that's why I'm staying slightly farther right and allowing Eric to get the jump onto Radek's wheel. But a POA guy gets there first, and I try to jump on the train. It sort of works, but as I said before, I don't quite have the snap in my legs that I was hoping to have. So once the sprint really gets going, I can pull off a decent sprint. Definitely wasn't a terrible sprint. But then I didn't realize there was one guy up the road, so he got first, and he snuck away from all of us. None of us realized he was there. So I thought I got third and got on the podium, but I ended up actually getting fourth because he had went the whole last lap, I think, solo, or last few laps, and snuck away without anyone in the field really realizing. That only worked that one time, because after that, we all started keeping eyes on him, and he never escaped again. But it worked really well, so that was a pretty good strategy on his part. Now, thanks for watching this Mt Tabor race. Don't forget to subscribe, because I'll be having more videos, hopefully consistently, of races. I've been bringing my GoPro to some of the cyclocross races. They should also make for some pretty good race recaps and some pretty exciting racing, because it got pretty muddy. And I'll catch you in the next one.